never say not, you'll never say not. Champions of Europe, you'll never say not.
I think the overriding feeling after yesterday's Champions League final ultimately is one of relief. As a non-Arsenal fan, I don't think the footballing world is ready for Arsenal to win the league and the Champions League in the same season. The discourse surrounding the game as it relates to how Arsenal approached it, I don't necessarily know if I agree with it. You know, football's about results, and ultimately PSG ended up winning the game. But I think if Arsenal had won the game yesterday, they would have been well deserving of that win. And I know people will disagree with that, but I think when you play a team like PSG, you have to find a way to neutralise that team. I thought they were set up to be compact, which they were, and I think had they not scored so early, they would have been more braver in transitions. They would have been a lot braver in their press as well. Up until Mosquera's mistake, I didn't see PSG scoring, and this is the best attacking team in the world. I think Hincapié and Mosquera, up until the penalty, were excellent. Saka dropping in with Trossard to double up to prevent the one-on-ones on the wings. PSG barely created any openings. I thought Gabriel was superb defensively, and I thought Miles Lewis-Skelly alongside João Neves were the two best midfielders on the pitch. This is the best defensive team, I think, in the world. I don't recall the last time I watched Arsenal play a game and concede 3, 4, 5 goals. It just hasn't happened, and this is a team where we've seen them in the past lose 8-2, lose 10-2, play finals and lose 5-1. I know it's easy to say now because Arsenal lost, but I genuinely thought the game plan that Arteta set up with yesterday was excellent. He nullified the best team in Europe, and they were unfortunate to concede the penalty. And of course, there is a relief, and it's fun to banter Arsenal now because they lost, but they are a few players away being consistently one of the best teams in the world. Successful hate watch as it was, I thought it was a good final. It was built up to be an unstoppable force versus an immovable object, and that's what we got. And to criticise how Arsenal played, I think it's barbershop argument type critique, because you're never going to play PSG the way PSG play football and expect to win. PSG haven't lost to anybody playing that way. They put 5 past Bayern Munich. They put 4 past Liverpool. They put 8 past Chelsea. Last season, they did the same thing to Man City. They did the same thing to Inter Milan. You have to play PSG in a way which restricts them and makes the game difficult for them. I thought Arsenal did that superbly. And on another day, Arsenal win that game 1-0. And if they win that game 1-0, it's a tactical masterclass. I'm relieved that they didn't. I'm not going to sit here and lie, because I think winning the Champions League and the Premier League in the same season would have done irreparable damage to my mental health. So I don't sit here and say that I'm devastated for them, but I can sit here and say that if Arsenal can figure out in their recruitment how to have players offensively to contribute the same way they've got the players to contribute defensively, Arsenal will be one of the most dominant teams for years to come. Where they fall short is offensively. They signed Gyökeres, they signed Madueke, who I don't think are at the level to elevate Arsenal to becoming the best team in the world consistently, but that's an argument for another day. As a Liverpool fan and as a part-time Arsenal hater, that's a concern. I don't think they're that far off. But shout out to PSG. I think they're worthy winners. They had a harder route to the final. I think they're well deserving of the best team in Europe tag. Honestly, it remains to be seen who can stop them. I think Arsenal pushed them close. I think Bayern Munich pushed them quite close as well. But they're yet to be stopped. So until that happens, allez, allez, allez. Better luck next time, Arsenal.